Hey everyone, this is Nate from EZscreenprint.com, and I had a request from someone to do a video actually using the EZ light source. I done an unboxing. I showed you everything that came in the box and how to set it up, but someone wanted me to show you how I use the light source. So in this video I'm going to expose one of my transparencies to an EZ screen printing sheet. EZ screen printing, when you buy the kit, it'll come with your sheets, and it'll also, inside the bag will come with a couple of small tabs. These are experiment tabs. You can use these to experiment with your light source to find out what your exposure time is going to be. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. I have a little piece of EZ screen printing sheet, and I'm going to be putting it on the exposure board with my transparency, and we're going to test out and see how long I need to set this thing up to expose my board. In my previous video I showed you how to, what kind of printer I use to print out my transparencies, and so you can see here it's the same design I just printed out. So I'm using that design. I'm putting my test strip on the exposure board, I put my transparency on top, and now I'm clipping down my exposure board. Alright, now that I have everything set up on my exposure board, I'm going to set it underneath the light source and turn it on. And this experiment I'm going to go for 15 minutes. I'm going to see if 15 minutes is long enough to expose this test strip. So I'm setting my alarm for 15 minutes. And then you can see here it's exposing. I'm going to leave it here for 15 minutes and you can see it just sitting underneath the light source. Alright, it's been 15 minutes, so I'm going to turn off my light source, and then I'm going to remove my test strip from the exposure board. And then once I have done that, I need to let it sit in water for about 30 minutes. So I have my water set up already, and I'm going to sit here for 30 minutes. Once it's been soaking for 30 minutes, I'm going to rinse it out. So you can see here's what it looks like. You can see the light blue is where my design is blocking out the light. And now I'm going to hold it underwater to wash away all that emulsion that the design was in. So here it is, I'm rinsing underwater, and sometimes when the emulsion is being really stubborn it won't come out. I just use a paintbrush to get it started, but it should come out real easy. If you have really older, if you haven't used your screen in a while, then it might be kind of stubborn and you'll need to use a paintbrush to get all the emulsion out, but it should come out pretty well, just rinsing underwater. You can see here after I've rinsed it out, here's what it looks like. I have my screen with the emulsion on it. So there we go, you can see all there. So 15 minutes was a good amount of time. It's like the perfect amount of time for this source. So I'm going to go ahead and expose my full sheet. I'm actually using this design in another project in a coming up video. So I'm going to go ahead and make my sheet for that. You can see my transparencies come with that white tab up top. It's best to go ahead and cut that off so it doesn't interfere with your exposing your sheet. So I cut that off. I put my design on the EZ screen print sheet. Put it on the exposure board. Put the piece of glass on, and then clamp it down. And then once it's set up, I will turn it on and leave it sit there for 15 minutes. And then you can see what it looks like just sitting there under the light. Alright, so it's been 15 minutes. I probably should have turned off the light, but it's not that big of a deal. I'm going to go ahead and remove my sheet from the exposure board. And you can go ahead and see, you can see the design burned in there pretty well. I'm going to let it sit in water for 30 minutes. Also, just a reminder, make sure when you're exposing it, expose it in the dark, or when you're soaking it in water, make sure you soak it in the dark. Don't leave a light on, because then it'll continue to expose and it'll ruin your screen. So I actually did turn off the light when I left the room. And then after I rinsed it out, I used a paintbrush, I rinsed it all out, and here's the final product. So this screen is all set and ready to go. It's ready to be used. And you'll see that in my next video. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, or be sure to join me on Facebook. Thanks for watching.